Welcome back, everybody, to The Dish with Chase and Ben.
I'm Chase.
And I'm Ben. And today, could you believe it, it's our 6th episode that we are recording, editing, and putting out into the world. And we are talking about the movie The Sixth Sense with, what's that man's name?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis and my man, Haley Joel Osment.
Ew.
And Toni Collette. Had no idea she was in this movie.
That's who you were going to say.
No,
That's funny.
I had no idea Toni Collette was in this movie, and I love her.
I don't
Everything
like her very much.
I love her so much for 2 movies. Hereditary, obviously, but then the movie About a Boy, which we might have to watch on this podcast because it's so good, and my mom would be so pumped if we talked about that on this podcast.
About a Boy.
It's one of her favorite movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if she actually likes the movie that much, but she loves the soundtrack. It's all by one band, and they're really good songs.
That's wild.
I'm singing them in my head right now. Okay. So the 6th episode, we're talking about The Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense, it's a tiny little, unheard of indie movie back from the 90s. 90s?
Probably, yeah, I would say so.
We probably should have known that.
Let's check really quick.
Go ahead and look it up. It is written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. And when I was growing up and he was making a lot of movies, he was like a joke, I feel like. Every single M. Night Shyamalan movie I've ever seen, besides the movie that shall not be named, which is Avatar: The Last Airbender that he did, and apparently it's ass.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Everything else has been quite enjoyable, and I've really, really liked it. This is a little too high for me.
That movie came out in 99.
See?
So you were really close.
Great year for movies. Everyone was like, the world's going to end after this. We might as well put out some
The
bangers.
computers are going to take over. My mom had like all the water bottles like in the basement.
I wish I could remember
She's
that.
a prepared lady.
I was 6 years old when that happened, and I still don't remember it.
Just in case, dude, the computers, we at least don't run out of water. Because they'll obviously get in control of the dams.
What's really funny, I have 3 gallons of distilled water in my refrigerator, like just in case.
How long is that good for?
It's water.
Water, Peter. It goes bad because it's distilled. It can't be distilled forever, can it?
Well, it's not. Well, it won't be distilled anymore. It'll still be good to drink. It's
Yeah.
not distilled. It's filtered from my.
So
Brita.
you lied too.
How does it feel to be a pathological
interesting.
liar? What's that look like? Ooh, ooh. So The Sixth Sense.
The Sixth Sense. Everyone knows the ending to this movie, which is kind of a shame because,
Dude,
like,
I
it
wish I
would-
didn't
It
know
would
the
shock.
end of
It would shaketh you.
So that's the thing. So I had never seen this movie before. And everyone knows that I see dead people. Everyone knows like the whole kind of premise of it is little boy sees dead people, and they gotta figure out why the little boy see dead people and little boy. There is a twist at the end. I feel like all of our podcasts should just say spoiler alert in the beginning, but I'm going to give another one. We're just going to ruin the absolute pants off of this movie. So spoiler alert if you want to watch.
And if you, you should. If you don't know how The Sixth Sense ends for real, 1, that's amazing.
I'm super jealous
And
of you.
2, you should definitely stop listening right now and watch that.
Watch it
before
real
you-
quick. Come
yeah.
right back. We'll
Right.
still be here, I
Yeah.
promise.
For sure.
So The Sixth Sense. So basically, the premise is there's this child psychologist that is being recognized for being an incredible child psychologist. And one of his old patients ends up breaking into his house and shoots him in the stomach. And then, 4 or 5 years pass?
Yeah, probably.
So all this time passes, and it's basically like he's estranged from his wife. Like he's still just like thrown himself completely into his work. And he meets this little boy, played by Haley Joel Osment, and this kid is like really ostracized from all of the kids he goes to school with. One of the kids in there is the little boy from the 13th Year, if anyone has seen that Disney Channel original movie where the little boy turns into a mermaid.
I don't. I never watched that. That sounds.
It was one of the good
disturbing.
ones.
That sounds disturbing.
Yeah, his mom was a mermaid and she gave him up, and then these fish people meaning fishermen, they lived in a
His mom was like homeless and had to give him up. She was like homeless in the ocean.
basically all she had were the pearls around her neck, so she gave
Work
up
in the streets of the ocean.
So The Sixth Sense. So the little boy, he sees, dead people. he knows that he's like a burden on his family and like everybody, so he like tries to keep it a secret, but he ends up telling the psychologist. They try to work through this, and they basically like the way that he can kind of stop being so afraid and so like attacked by these ghosts is by like basically helping them. So every time a ghost like appears to him, he's like, okay, how can we help this? How can we fix this and stuff? Excuse me. And he ends up like, there's this little girl who, you know, died of this like rare, like unknown sickness. And he ends up finding proof to show that the little girl's mom was poisoning her and killed her.
Right.
So
It was
like
super gross.
crazy shit. Like
Yeah.
at the wake, he finds this videotape basically proving the little girl.
The ghost shows him.
Yeah, the little
tape,
girl,
yeah.
the ghost, like leads him to this videotape that shows that her mom was poisoning her, and he just gives it to her dad and is like, "Hey, your daughter wanted you to see this." And the dad's like, "What the fuck?" And he like ends up playing it at the wake,
Yeah.
and everyone there sees that the mom like poisoned her daughter to death.
Yeah.
And it's like so
And
intense.
was poisoning the other daughter. She had a little girl too.
I didn't
and
know that.
Yeah, in the
I didn't catch
beginning
that.
of the like funeral home, they're like, "Oh, the little one's starting to fall ill now too." Isn't that crazy? And it's
Good
like,
God,
damn,
dude.
dude, she's just killing all her
Literally
kids.
nonstop.
She's just killing her kids. Yeah.
Garbage. So he ends up, you know, trying to like make everything better, and he's like trying to like use this, you know, power for good, basically. He ends up like reconnecting his mom with her mom's, like Toni Collette's mom, and like it's like really, really good and everything. But like basically at the end of the movie, you realize that the little boy, Haley Joel Osment, and the psychologist, they're so close because the psychologist died from the gunshot wound. And like he didn't know that he died, basically. He didn't know he was a ghost. So he's like trying to interact with his wife. And like you're watching this movie and his wife is being super distant. She's not like talking to him or like referencing him at all. And you think it's just like, oh, she's just like pissed. He's, you know, throwing himself into his work and he's trying. No, he's actually fucking dead.
Yeah.
And she's like just not seeing him because she can't see dead people.
Right.
But he ends up like talking to her while she's asleep.
Yeah.
And she can hear him then because, you know, dream world, you're more susceptible to ghosts or whatever. But it's just,
That's in the world of M. Night Shyamalan. That is the way.
Also, I did not
is the
know
way.
this is the way. We'll talk about that later. I didn't know that M. Night Shyamalan like does cameos in all of his movies. Like every movie he makes, he's in.
Yeah.
Very Quentin Tarantino. Very old Marvel man.
Yeah, it's
What's
cool.
his name?
Stanley.
Stanley.
Rest in power.
Stanley. God bless you, Stanley.
Rest in power, King.
King
King.
Excelsior. Excelsior. We're done.
As a little kid, Haley Joel Osment is a really good actor.
I mean, even grown up, he's a good actor, but his
I don't know
face,
what he's
his face
in.
always stayed the same
Yeah,
size,
his
and
head
his body
grew.
around it.
He look him up now as an adult because he is insane looking. But I have
insane
No, I
looking.
have like a theory. I think I've told you this before about little kid actors. And the thing is that they are super successful because they're overly childish looking.
Yeah.
Like because they have to be like a universally cute kid, right? So like they're gonna pick this kid that is like the Gerber baby of like whatever style kid it is, right? So of course, like if you're overly childish looking, and let's say he's like, what is he in that movie? He's probably like 9 or 10.
I
He's
was gonna
probably
say,
like 10.
in the movie, I think he's 9.
Yeah, but he looks like he's 7 years old. Like
Seriously.
he's a tiny, like you know what I mean? And so of course, when you grow up, though, like you're not gonna outgrow those things. They're gonna look.
You're gonna have
You're
those
just gonna look
boyish
disturbing.
looks.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know,
I think you're taking it.
like
a
look at
step
Danny
too far.
Bonaducci. Like you
I
know,
have
like
no idea
oh
who that
god,
is.
he's like that redhead dude that had his own like reality show, and he's like an alcoholic. Yeah.
While you're
Anyways.
probably painting a very accurate picture, it's not really helping me. But
Anyways,
okay.
do you know what I also learned today or the other day? This is so ridiculous, but I feel like I have to share it right now.
Okay.
Do you know like a deli? Like when you go to the deli, a deli is a delicatessen.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Delicatessen was a word in one of the spelling bees.
Oh,
when I was
really?
a child, yeah.
Did you get it or no?
I thank God I didn't get it.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't even know how to spell that now.
I read it on like my phone, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, that's crazy."
You're like, "There's
It's
too
not the
many
way you
letters in
think
that
it would
word."
be spelled.
It's
yeah.
very odd.
Anyways, but yeah, so it was like pretty like nice. It was really disturbing, I would say. It was like a cooler, like M. Night Shyamalan, his like movies, they range in genre.
They're
I
more,
would say.
yeah. I would like
Right?
everything
Like,
I've seen
it's
from him
not
has
always
been more
scary.
thriller.
Yeah, like it could be a thriller, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's like horror, but certain ones I could say would be.
What movie did we just watch that he wrote or produced? Oh, it was the Cabin one.
It was that Cabin with Dave Bautista.
yeah.
Yeah, that I fell asleep to.
Yeah, we both fell asleep too.
I was exhausted. It was good though. It was
good.
interesting. It was interesting. I like that movie Devil that he's in with the elevator.
I love that.
That's a
movie.
sweet one. Yeah.
So I watched
Yeah.
that before I was really into horror movies, and it scared the poopy out of me. I was so scared. I watched
was a good
it.
one,
I think it was
yeah.
in 2013. I watched that movie. I was staying at a house while I was on the road, and they had like a huge DVD collection. And I was like, I want to watch a scary movie all by myself. And I
Yeah.
watched it on my computer, and I was like, this is terrifying.
That's wild. Yeah.
So good.
That's insane.
Yeah. But I mean, really quick though, if we're talking about Haley Joel Osment, what's the Lion movie?
The Lion King?
No, the one that he's in with his two uncles.
Oh, Secondhand Lions.
Secondhand
That's a
Lions.
good movie.
It's a great.
It's a great movie.
I think my older sister really liked that movie.
Yeah, Robert Duvall's in that movie.
Shelley Duvall.
No, Roberto.
Are they brother and sister? No, are they brother and sister?
I don't know.
Are they?
I don't know
relations?
them.
Let me text them really quick. Keep going. I'm gonna find out if Robert and Shelley are brother and sister.
Okay. No, like so yeah, it's like I remember when I was a kid like watching The Sixth Sense, like and it disturbed the crap out of me because there's that little girl that's like puking. The girl that got poisoned.
That
she's
did
like in
scare you a
she's like in
lot.
his tent and he like flips open this tent and the ghost is just this girl that's like pale as hell. And she's like puking on her own shirt. And like as a kid, I was like, oh, that is like the grossest thing in the whole world. And it just freaked me out. I remember that still. Even when we saw it the other day, it was like just as disturbing to me. I don't like that kind of stuff. What?
Robert and Shelley aren't related.
All right, moving on. Do you believe in ghosts, Ben?
You ready for this?
Let's do it.
I want to hear your response first.
I would say I believe in ghosts. I would say that I believe that there are things that I don't necessarily like have the capacity to really understand.
Okay.
And I'm willing to like go into that with like an open mind. And if that like means that there are spirit or ghosts, I also think that like they've been around so long, like in history, people describing things that like I feel like it has to be somewhat true or like have to come from something, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. So like, and if it's like always the same consensus over like a long span of time, it tends to be like a fact. Mm-hmm. But with this specific thing, there's not like physical proof like that people would,
Yeah, it's
at least
tough.
even if there was, I don't think people would buy it. You know what I mean? 'Cause,
Yeah.
like it's hard to, it's
Well,
hard.
I mean, there's so
you
many
know.
things on video. There's so many recordings. This and
Right.
the other, but
Who
yeah.
knows the integrity of that? You
Yeah.
know, so it's like hard. But that being said, you know, I don't know. Like, so I think that like, I think there's something. I think that there's probably all kinds of like weird things,
Yeah.
not just ghosts. I'm sure that there are like, you know, you watch all those like weird TikToks and they're like a skinwalker and like all these things like that. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe things like, I don't know. Like, what do I
think-
know?
Yeah.
And I think too, like the older that I get too, like the more I don't really know. I'm unsure because I'm like, I don't know. Things are crazy. You know what I mean?
True.
Like look at the things they find at the bottom of the ocean all the time. That's
I'd
washed
rather
on
never
shore.
look at
It's
that.
wild, but I'm just saying, like, and I just read online the other day that they found an ocean under the Earth's surface.
Oh, for meow's sake.
yeah. Which, like, imagine what's under there.
I don't want
Like,
to,
that's
dude.
crazy.
I already hate Big Daddy Ocean. Now there's little baby ocean underneath it.
You're afraid of sharks. There's probably Megalodon down there.
Shut your mouth.
Your mouth. Anyways, Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's probably a lot of things that like I don't understand, and I'm okay with that. And
Yeah.
I think that if I am one day humbled by that experience, then that's just how it is, and like I'll accept that for what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
So I have a differing opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Big surprise. I do not necessarily believe in ghosts. I don't think people that die can like come back to us. I think our brains are very powerful organs, and I think they make things a reality for people if they want it to. What I do believe in, being a biblical
Christian.
is the presence of angels and demons. And I, in my short 28 years of life, I was going to say, don't you dare
I
bang
was
this
just
on
holding
me.
it.
Just
No,
for safety.
look, it won't even make noise if I hit it right now.
Me in my short 28 years of life, I have had an interaction with something I believe to be a demon, and I've also had an interaction with something I believe to be an angel. Mm-hmm. And I was a skeptic of angels and demons before that, because my mom has a story when she was younger that she had an angel help her. And I was always like, that wasn't an angel. That was obviously somebody. But then I had an angel encounter, and I was like, all right, you might be onto something. And I see that. I see, you know, when people die, they go to where they're going, and
Yeah.
they stay put. I don't really see people coming back because, like, you know, being very binary about it, if I'm in heaven, why would I want to leave there? And if I'm in hell, how would I be able to leave there? So
Yeah, that's fair.
when you're dead, you're gone. You're where you need to go, and you don't come back.
That's fair. That's very Ben of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's where we're at. It's what I've believed for a very long time.
Okay, well then we'll hit with hypotheticals for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Hypothetical is excuse me. Hypothetical is if you did see a ghost, okay, like if you actually were like, holy crap, my whole life is turned upside down. This is a real ghost.
All of my Ben leaves.
You just
That's it.
Get
Done.
crazy.
You've answered it. That's how I'd react.
No, I would say, would if they asked you for help, would you help them
Absolutely.
do their bidding? If it was not bad,
Do their bidding?
their bidding. That's what you're doing.
I'm doing my dark bidding on the internet. What
Um,
are you bidding on?
A table.
A table. Name that movie. So that's, I mean, I don't know. Like, if it was like a ghost, like, no, I'd be very like,
What if it was like a kid that was poisoned by his gross mom, and you had to
in the name of Jesus,
you
I
would
rebuke
exercise
you.
that child?
I was like, get out.
You're like,
I
I'm
said,
gonna-
go run a mile.
You're like,
Can you put
Ah.
yourself together here?
So
It's a ghost.
you're like, I'm gonna deport your ghost ass back to heaven.
Get. No. If there's no.
You wouldn't
Say-
help them. I would help them.
No.
Come on.
I wouldn't help a real child coming up to me. I'd
if
be
it
like,
was-
no, go find your parents
What if
somewhere.
it was a victim of injustice?
Happens every day, huh? No, if there was a ghost child, I don't know.
A ghost
Honestly,
child.
if I would know, I don't know if I would even like immediately jump to, you're obviously a ghost.
What if it was obviously a ghost?
Like I could see through him, like nearly
I
headless
don't
Nick
know.
and Harry
It
Potter.
would be like somebody that's obviously not alive. That let's say you knew that they were dead.
I would.
Like, what if you
So
saw?
funny. It's my
like-
same reaction I have if I start hearing a narrator in my brain. I would talk to my pastor,
You'd be like,
who
something.
listens to this, by the way. He
you're like,
told
something
me,
crazy is happening to me.
like, listen here. I was just gonna dox my pastor. I was gonna say his name. We'll keep his identity a secret until he listens to this and texts me and tells me that it's okay for me to say his name.
Romanian spies are looking for him, so we have to keep his
He's
his name.
Polish.
Yeah, you have to keep his name secret. Sacred.
Sacred or secret?
Both.
Okay, really quick
Okay.
tangent. And I'm just gonna move this a little bit further away from you because I want to talk about this for a second. Did you ever watch the show America's Next Top Model
Not really.
with Tyra
no.
Banks?
No.
There is one episode. I think they're either in France or Spain because like once they get it down to like 6 models, they're like, "We're going to Paris," and then they like go
Okay.
somewhere else,
Yeah.
and they're doing this. You know, the women's deodorant Secret. It's like
yeah,
Dove
yeah,
Secret
yeah,
or something. They they do a TV commercial in either Spanish or French. I can't remember. I think it's French because French is a harder language. And they have to do it in French, and none of these girls speak French. So they're trying to learn their lines and memorize their lines in French. And it always, anytime anyone says the word secret, they all have to be like, un secret. And it's so funny to me, and it always makes me think of that. And we'll put this back, and I'll even ring it myself.
All right.
We're done.
Fine.
Yeah, no, little boy comes up to me, I'm dead, help me find my parents. I'd say, no, go away.
What if he just persisted?
I'd probably try to, like, physically get him away from me. I'd fight that child. If he's trying to come after me, I'm not about that, dude.
He's not coming at you. He's asking for help.
And I'm saying, no, thank you.
All right.
What'd you
Send
do?
him, send
You
him to my
bleeding
house.
hard?
I would help him.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, dude.
No, I'm super good.
What
at it.
if-
How would you help him?
I would go
Little
to
boy, come up. Little boy, come up. Mr. Man.
Mr. Man.
Do you know what that's
I
from?
forget. I don't remember.
That's another thing that I can't get out of my head.
Oh, God.
In the comments, name that movie. Every quote. Here's a fun game. Either take a shot every time we quote another movie that we aren't supposed to be talking about right now, or in the comments, just write down all the movies we talk about. So far, there's 2 that I can remember. There's probably more.
Perhaps.
I'm going to put this down.
Yeah, my zebra pen. What's wrong with you?
Zebra. Yeah, little boy come up. Mr. Man, my parents killed me. Help me.
Yeah, I would investigate his parents,
Oh, with your investigative skills.
and then exactly, and
Would
then
you, would you call your friendly neighborhood Sergeant Detective James Schultz?
perhaps he is an asset. That
I would love to
utilize.
see you and my dad solve a crime.
It would be great. We'd be on motorcycles. We'd be like, hey.
Would you be on 2 separate motorcycles,
Yeah.
or would you be in his sidecar?
No, I would be on a separate.
No.
Secret.
Secret.
Un secret. It's a secret.
It's in my head, dude. Forever.
Friend place.
That show was a problem, but we don't have to get into it. So you'd help the little boy.
I would.
In my brain, he's the little boy from Insidious who jumps out that wardrobe, who has like the little cap.
Oh, I
And
know
he's got
exactly.
yeah.
Like the little pilgrim child.
Yeah. I just watched behind a behind the scenes video of that, and that was a small man. That was a full grown man. That was that
Really?
size that played that.
That's
yeah,
wild.
because he had a unique looking face,
Oh.
so they wanted him for the movie. James Wan did that movie, I
don't
believe.
know. I'm not sure who that is.
He's a horror like heavy hitter. James
Really?
Wan. Yeah, dude.
All right.
You know him.
Does he
done
do
a
the
lot.
Conjuring and stuff? I'm assuming then. too.
Possibly. Let me look up.
They're
what
all the
he's
same.
done.
It feels like.
They're all in the same universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm almost
so
positive
they're all in
that's
the same
James
universe,
Wan.
and he has to be right.
James,
James Juan.
not James Hong.
Juan, I said.
Wan. Oh, he did Saw. I
Did
think.
he
I,
really? That's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, he's a producer on The Conjuring.
I don't know
movies.
anything. I guess
He did Megan. He produced Megan.
That movie was really weird. Yeah. That movie is honestly just, it reminded me of Chucky, kind of. But
Yeah.
like a modern. Like,
Well, that's
you
the
know,
thing. How
the
can
girl's lonely. You get her
How
the
can you do a
doll.
doll
It's-
movie without
Chucky, yeah.
like homaging
Yeah,
Chucky? Yeah,
it's fine.
He killed it.
Sometimes you just have to make your own thing, dude. You know?
You and my
don't
dad
have
share
to,
that sentiment.
Yeah, you just don't have to. Don't cock it up. You know what I'm saying? As they
Don't
say.
cock it up. I can't wait for that.
Okay, so I would help them obviously no matter what because I'm awesome and I am a leader of both realms. Kind of like Papa Midnight from Constantine.
Isn't he
played by that
Satan?
guy that's in Gladiator that we like?
Jamon Hanzu.
Yeah. He's so good.
Frankie was almost
super
named
good.
Jamon
That would be good.
because we thought Frankie was a boy.
Yeah.
And my sister loves Jamon Hanzu. Hanzu.
Speaking of movies, what is your favorite ghost movie?
Which is fun. I thought I had my favorite ghost movie, and then you reminded me of my actual favorite ghost movie. I'll take this one first here.
I reminded you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sleepy Hollow is probably my favorite
good.
ghost movie.
I love that movie.
I have very fond memories of that movie. We're going back to 2010, 2011. We're on band tour. My friend Lexi is in band with me. This is high school. We're on the bus.
You're not in a band. You're
no.
in band.
I think I was in a band at the time,
You're-
but I was in
right,
the
but you were-
class
you were
band.
in band.
Concert band.
Right.
We were on our band tour
All
for
right.
high school. We're going to New York.
okay.
So funny enough, because Sleepy Hollow is also set in New York, upstate New York. My friend Lexi had a video iPod, the iPod Nano.
Nanotech. Yeah.
Your favorite, the little square one with the little screen.
Yeah.
I watched that movie for the first time on that iPod. I think it was Seafoam Green. Lexi,
cool.
if you're listening to this, let me know. But I watched that movie and I was in love with it because not only is it Johnny Depp, never seen a bad Johnny Depp movie. That's a lie. Some of the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Really, the first
Yeah.
one's great. Second one's tough. Third
okay.
one's ass.
Yeah. First one's great.
Which is annoying because the third one has Mads.
You
but
know,
that's
we
fine.
do love Maz.
He was great in it. He played a great job. I watched that movie and I was like, this is so good. And I immediately bought it on iTunes. Mm-hmm. And I had it. And I swear, the first 20 times I watched that movie, it was on a screen this big.
That's wild.
And it's just like, that's how I enjoyed it. And now I have a 75-inch TV.
Yep. And you watch it on there. Yeah, you have Christopher Walken. You got Winona Ryder in that, I think, don't you?
No.
Who's that one dude? The dude that plays Dumbledore is in that movie.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but he's a good actor.
Well, okay, so that group, every single one of those is like super famous.
Yeah,
Read my face.
Christopher Lee is one of them.
Christopher Lee is in it, which
Yeah.
is incredible. I love Sir Christopher Lee.
Yeah, he's legit.
The guy who plays, what's his name? Chancellor Palpatine in Star Wars is one of those guys too.
Yeah.
Which is, I never knew that, and I love Star Wars. Christina Ricci, Miranda Richardson, Michael Gambon,
Yep.
Jeffrey Jones, who is always wild looking, Richard Griffiths, may he rest in power, I think. Let me
You
double
don't
check.
even know?
No, he did pass.
Who is
it's
that? Let
Uncle
me see.
Vernon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God. Oh, my God. 65, dude.
I mean,
Holy moly.
God bless him for lasting that long.
God, thank you for your service.
Yeah, Ian McDermott, Christopher Walken.
Walken.
So many Christopher Lee. Alan Armstrong, who's a really famous actor. You know him. He's been
Yeah.
in a lot of stuff. Yeah, dude. It's a great movie. It's kind of cheesy, but I mean, it's a ghost story set in the
Yeah.
late 1800s, early 1900s. So it's such a good movie. I love how it's shot too because everyone is bone white. Everything is basically black and white in that movie, even though it's not a black and white movie. And then the reds pop so much.
Yeah.
Speaking of reds popping in movies, that's actually something that I wanted to talk about this movie, The Sixth Sense, that we're
Yeah.
doing the podcast on.
Yeah.
You mentioned it to me while we started watching because it's the movie I wouldn't say is necessarily desaturated, but they really do hammer in the reds. And it's
Yeah.
basically how you were describing it to me. There is like a bright red presence anytime there's like interactions with ghosts, basically, or like, you know, people that have passed. And the three that I really noticed right away was the door handle down
Yeah.
to
Bruce Willis's door handle.
down to his study in the basement.
Right.
Bright red glass door handle. The church where Haley Joel Osment would always like run to and just like hang out in because he felt safe there. That had a huge red door, I
Yeah.
believe, or like I think it was
Yeah.
like a red brick building. Something red about it, but it was like really prominent. And then that mean ass lady who killed her kids, she was wearing a red dress at the wake of her daughter.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
I forgot about
So
that.
I noticed that too. So that is just like the use of that color really kind of being like, ooh, look at this.
And
It's
that
like
little,
really,
his tent is red, too.
his tent is red because
Yeah.
he would hide in his tent from
Yeah.
the ghosts that were getting him.
Yep.
And then two of them ruined that and they just showed up
Literally
in the tent.
inside. That's
Jerks.
just like,
They're
that's
children.
That's
I mean,
B&E right there.
B&E.
That's B&E. I don't think that's Street League.
B&E are my letters of my name.
Amber is the color of your energy, did you just say? Whoa.
Whoa.
My favorite ghost movie
What's your favorite ghost movie, Chase?
is a cross between two. I thought about
I thought you were going to say A Christmas Carol.
You reminded me of one. So
Which
it
one?
kind of threw me
Oh,
off.
duh.
What
ahead,
do you,
girl.
What do you think it is?
13 Ghosts.
Yeah, dude. 13
Yeah.
Ghosts. It's a great movie.
Which
But Go ahead.
I was going to pop off for a second. I had seen bits and pieces of 13 Ghosts. When I was a child, I used to flip to the Sci-Fi Channel to try to scare myself.
Okay.
And I saw 13 Ghosts on there one time, and I saw Homegirl with her breast tissue out. You're not going to be able to see him. He's going over there. He's off screen. Tato's laying in Nana's bed right now. Well,
Carlito.
he's thinking about it. He's like, no, I'm good. This isn't mine. I saw the scene with Homegirl with her breast tissue out, and then
with the cuts all over her.
Yeah, and then he gets cut in half. I saw that scene on TV. They
scene.
showed all of that, just blurred the nipples. That's the only thing that they blurred out.
Yeah,
I think it was very, very, very early in the morning I saw it because I used to wake up really early when I was a kid. Yeah,
that's a great movie. But then my tie to that is The Crow.
The Crow,
because The Crow is a dope movie.
You'd think, you knowing what I was about in high school, I would have loved The Crow. Never seen that movie full.
Oh, it's so
full
good.
through.
It's so good.
I just saw something on Instagram that had Jason Momoa as the Crow, and I was like, absolutely not. I got so angry so fast.
Jason Momoa as the Crow.
Literally, I almost sent it to you just because I knew it would grind your gears.
Oh, I'm not into Mamonta.
I was really trying to be him. I'm trying to think of a movie that he would. Honestly, his best role, Khal Drogo.
Probably
barely
because
said
he doesn't
anything.
fucking say anything.
No, and he does a great job.
He does a good job.
Yeah,
he does a good job.
One of my
He's
least
terrible
favorite
as
rules.
Aquaman. Well, go ahead.
Well, that's the thing. Aquaman. I honestly, it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it.
It was fun, but it was not that great.
I had a really hard time with Jason Momoa in Dune.
Me too.
He's Duncan.
He doesn't
Idaho.
need to be. Yeah, he doesn't need to be in Dune.
No,
but now he's just doomed. Now we're doomed. We are doomed. He's not. He's getting tons of money, but we're doomed to have him now.
Well, he's dead in Dune, at least right now. Spoiler alert for everyone who hasn't read the books. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
he's out.
He's not down.
Yeah, but I
He's
really
not down.
do. I've seen bits and pieces of The Crow, and it has a very tragic backstory of the movie. But
the second one is super dope too,
Yeah.
honestly. And Iggy Pop is in the second one.
ooh,
is
I have
kinda
a hard
cool.
relationship with Iggy Pop.
You know what's weird about that movie
I'd
though?
love to hear it.
Is in the beginning of that movie, they're biker dudes, and it's almost like a Gotham City,
Yeah,
essentially. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
But it's Detroit, by the way.
Oh,
And
cool.
but it's sick. It's really intense. It's really abandoned and crazy.
So
there's these 6 biker dudes, and they're tough guys, and they're in the bar, doing their thing. And Iggy Pop
Kissing
is
each other, painting each other's
punching
nails.
braiding each other's hair, putting toe rings on.
here you go. Death
so,
Trap. One of them's name is Death Trap.
So they're doing shots with a 45 round in it, and they swallow it, and they just do it. And when I was a kid watching that, I was like, it'll just go off in your stomach and you'll die. You idiot.
It's gonna hit one of your ribs and bye.
You loser, you fool.
You fool.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
so funny. It's just
wild.
gonna go off in your tummy.
I would puke it up.
It's gonna
I would,
hit the apple tree that's growing in your stomach because you ate apple seed. And it's
I'm
gonna pop
wondering,
off.
too, though, would you feel the weight of it just sliding down?
Oh, absolutely. You know when you
Gross,
drink
dude.
hot soup?
Down your
And you feel
gullet,
it go
dude?
through?
Oh god, dude. Oh,
My favorite. You said gullet. My favorite term for somebody's mouth is gaping maw.
ma.
I think that's really
It sounds
funny.
really inappropriate.
I heard a drag queen say it once, and I can't get it out of my head. Where
But yeah.
were we?
So, anyways, I would say The Crow and that movie, but honorary mentions to the Ghost Ship. You know what I'm saying?
I saw Ghost Ship when I was in Germany.
Beetlejuice. It's a ghost movie.
Take it
It's
or
a
leave
great
it.
one. I like Beetlejuice a lot. How do you not like Beetlejuice?
It's a long story.
I don't want to hear it.
Cool.
I'm just kidding.
I don't want to tell it.
Can't believe you.
Yeah, well, I'm unbelievable.
Okay. You know what? That's crazy. How do you think if you saw a ghost, it was confirmed that this is a ghost?
Is there a ghost in the room right now, Chase?
It was confirmed that there was a ghost.
Okay.
How do you think you would like physically react to seeing something like that?
So here's the thing. I want you to answer this first
okay.
because I have a story about angels and I have a story about demons, and I'll tell both.
Oh, okay.
So I want you to go first.
I'm saying though, like it not touching you. I'm just saying like you're just like sitting like here, and it's like, oh my god, there's Benjamin Franklin.
Well, the two entities that I came in contact with, neither of them touched me.
Okay,
so.
fine. All right, fine. Anyways,
I don't know what
I
you think
think
this
that I
is.
would, if they were not aggressive with me,
Yeah.
nor looked aggressive in any way,
Okay.
I think I would be nervous, but I don't think I would react like statically. I think I would probably still like look at it and be like, okay, like this is what this is. And then I don't know if I would tell anyone. I don't think I would say anything. I think I would just kind of like,
me.
I feel like I wouldn't want to because I feel like I know now.
And I'm like super
So like it doesn't
judgmental,
matter
so.
anymore. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter like because like I know I saw it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, so I don't know. I feel like I would probably be
Seeing is
nervous
believing.
because it's like an extraordinary thing.
Yeah.
It's something that I would be like, am I hallucinating?
Well, yeah.
Like,
How about this?
Or
We'll
like
paint
what's
the scene.
happening?
So you're sitting on the couch in the living room. You're reading a book. You're just reading. Statistically speaking, it gets really cold when
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, just-
interact. So you're sitting there, you're reading. Ooh, it's chilly. What's going on? You kind of look over, and there's just a woman sitting on your couch.
Yeah.
You've never seen her before. She's pretty nondescript. She's just wearing plain clothing.
Does she look like a ghost or does she just look like a person?
There's something, it's like Uncanny Valley. There's something off with her that you can't put your finger on. She's just sitting there. She doesn't look threatening. She doesn't look scary. She's just looking at you with like a pleasant but needing look on her face.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have it in my head right now. She
So
looks
I
like
would say-
Lily Potter from Harry Potter. That's what she looks like
Okay.
in my brain.
Okay.
She's sitting there. She's sitting there.
If, I
hands
think it would
crossed,
startle
looking
me
at
to
you.
have somebody
Yeah.
just on the couch.
Yeah.
So I'd probably like back up and be like, whoa. And then if she was like just chilling and hanging out, I think I would just sit there and look at her. And I don't think I'd say anything.
She was sitting
Yeah.
there. You're like, whoa, who the hell are you? What's going on? She just says, hello, Chase.
I'd like to play a game.
No, not you.
She's like, my husband murdered me and I need help.
yeah, you're the only one that I can.
I
I'm
would be-
obviously
I-
not
I
going to
would be-
Ben's house
I
because he
would
said
be
it
like,
wouldn't help me.
yeah, you would literally just
I'd be
hold a
like,
cross in
"Be
front of
gone,
me. and be like,
thought."
"Ah." Hey. No, I think I would help, but I think I would be nervous at first. But I think I don't think I would. I don't
you'd
think I'd
be more
freak
than
out.
nervous.
I don't think I'd.
Oh, I
freak
think you'd have a
out.
really hard
I don't think I
time.
would.
I think you'd
so.
find a boomstick and see what you could make.
No,
of
if it
this.
was like not like I don't think so.
Mm.
I don't know.
scary.
What about you now?
All right.
What say you, Ben?
Do you want angel or demon first?
I want Angel on Hall
Okay.
first.
One moment, let me wet
Oh,
my
I'm
whistle.
out of water. I'm out of water.
Do you want some of mine?
No.
It's filtered.
I don't
It's
know where
iced.
I don't know where you've been.
Mostly here.
At this house?
Today I have,
Yeah, true.
because I was canceled upon. But that's fine.
It's okay.
I was supposed to get tattooed today, and then it didn't happen. But it's going to happen later, and it's fine. Okay, so Angel first.
Yeah.
So, spooky, scary. Angel. So, I was a senior in high school. I was in my car. It's a 91 Chevy Lumina. It was maroon. It was sick. I loved that car so much. We're driving northbound on Livernois, Main Street. It's raining really hard, thunderstorming early in the morning, so it's still pretty dark, and I'm driving. And something really beautiful about the 1991 Chevrolet Lumina is it doesn't have anti-lock brake system. So if you slam on the brakes, your brakes lock up and you just kind of slide a lot.
Cool.
So I'm driving northbound on Livernois. It's raining. I can't really see, but I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm probably distracted because I'm a teenager driving a car, 17 years old.
You
Which
got
is
your
wild.
iPod and your Walkman and your Game Boy and your Sega Genesis in your hand. You got
You just spanned
McDonald's
like 20
fry.
years. McDonald's fries.
Yeah, dude. No,
I
McDonald's
did
fry.
love just
Fry.
one. It
I'll
was
take
under
a fry.
the seat.
I'll have a small fry.
I'll have one small fry. I think I just get potato again.
Don't.
I'm driving there, and the people in front of me stop. They slam on their brakes. I slam on my brakes, and I feel myself like sliding forward. And I'm like, I'm gonna run into these people. So instead of veering left into oncoming traffic, I veered right and went down like an 8-foot ditch. In the car with me is my baby infant sister, Jane. She was 14 at the time. And
Yane.
this other little girl I drove to school, Annalisa, she was
Yeah.
in the back. Annalisa never wore her seatbelt in my car. And she was maybe 65 pounds soaking wet.
Okay.
Small little Chinese girl.
Okay.
So we're driving. I freak out. I pull into the ditch. We like slam down in there. The two things that made me think everyone died in the car was my sister's glasses flew off and hit the dashboard.
Yeah.
And Annalisa flew up, hit the ceiling, and fell back down because she wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah, of course.
So she like, boom, bang. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, everyone's dead. And I'm in this car with two dead people. Cool. So I'm just sitting there. I'm white knuckling it on my steering wheel. I'm just like staring forward. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just killed everybody. Like, we're all dead. We're all dead. So I'm freaking out. I can't even look over at my sister. I can't look back at Annalisa. I'm just so scared. And then some dude out of nowhere jumps down on my car, onto the hood of my car, like boom, bang, onto the hood of my car. He like knocks on the windshield. He's like, hey, is everybody okay? And like immediately I was calm. I felt great. I was like, yeah, dude, everyone's fine. We're all good. And I looked over. Jane was totally fine. Annalisa was upside down, but she was fine. And I was like, we're all good. We got to get out of here. Let's get out of the car.
Yeah.
So we all like get out of the car. We leave our bags there because I was like, we're just don't be like this. Like we got to get out. Annalisa had to like climb up through the front and get out.
Yeah.
So we have to like climb out of this ditch. It's super deep. We get up and I just like look down at my car. I have a picture of it on my Instagram. It's been hidden, but I like my car was like deep in a ditch.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, the thing was a boat, but it's like way down there. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that was crazy. That really like kind of fucked with me a little bit. I was like, again, 17. Like I haven't been driving for
Yeah.
that long. It scared me really badly. But we're all safe. Everything was good. This woman like pulled over and she let us like wait in her car while I called my dad and was like, hey, we didn't get into an accident, but the car's in the ditch. Like I can't, like I don't know what happened. Like what do we do? So my dad started coming. We're like waiting in this car. And I kept thinking about it and I was like, dang, that was really crazy that dude was there to help us. Like he like put me at ease so fast. It was great. And then like before, like my dad showed up and he took us to school and I looked down at my car and there were no footprints on my car. There was no dent on my hood. And he like jumped down on it and he's like banging on the windows and everything. And like with there being like no physical sign that he was there or he got up and left, like after that, like I told my mom that and I was like, yeah, there's this dude and he jumped on the car and then I like could not find him anywhere. He was just like gone like that. And she's like, oh, it was an angel. Totally. And I like was like, no way it was an angel. That couldn't have happened. But like the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, dude, like I was in that situation. I was about to freak out. I was about to lose it. And God was like, okay, you need to calm down.
He's like, chill out, sweetheart.
Yeah, literally. And the dude that was there looked like Jacob Black from Twilight, Taylor Lautner with long hair.
He's like, are you okay, Loca? Is everybody okay?
Are you okay, Loca? My gosh, I wish my Jacob Angel said that, but no. So
Jacob Angel.
Jacob Angel, that's your cousin. I firmly believe that was an angel that kind of stepped in for a second and made sure everything was good. And, you know, I really appreciated that. It made me feel good.
That's cool.
The demon, on the other hand, really
demon.
did not make me feel good.
You did a rock off, and you were just like rock and rolling with the
I
demon.
didn't do a rock off, and that's also Satan.
Satan.
Name that movie. 3 movies now, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. Okay, so the demon, I have to preface this. Every time I tell this story, I always get so scared that he's going to come back.
Okay.
But I always tell it, and then before I go to bed that night, I say a little prayer, and then everything
You're
is
crazy,
fine.
dude.
Do not gaslight me right now. So when I was a kid, Ben's demon story. When I was a kid, I used to have really, really bad nightmares all the time. You can ask anybody in my family. I'd literally wake up from nightmares screaming every night, almost every night. It was wild. And this one recurring nightmare I had, in the dream, I would wake up, I'd look over at my clock that was on my bedside table, and it would go from 1:59 to 2 a.m. So it would shift, and then I'd hear something out in my hallway. So, of course, I'd have to go investigate. I'd get up, go out in the hallway. I'd look down towards my sister's room, can't see anything. I'd look down towards my parents' room, and I'd see this tall, dark figure. I couldn't, like, see any details about him, but he was just standing there.
Yeah.
He was just, like, staring at me. So I'd be like, Mom? And he would shake his head really slow. I'd say, Dad? He'd shake his head really slow. And I'd say, well, who are you? and then he would just slowly start walking towards me.
Ew.
Basically every night I had this dream, and then I'd wake up and I'd look over at my clock and it would go from 1:59 to 2 a.m. And I would start screaming. I'd get one of my parents in. They'd have to like lull me back to sleep. It was a nightmare.
You were like 16. They're like, come on, Ben.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, dude. I used to it was just like such bad nightmares. All the time I'd have these nightmares. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I had really bad nightmares that this guy was on fire and he would chase me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that one was the worst. Yeah, I just used to have really, really bad nightmares, which is why I like hated horror movies and everything, because I thought it would just like fuel my nightmares.
That's fair. That's gross.
So yeah, it's not the end of it here. So a lot of years go by, and like I kind of start slowing down with the dream. I don't have it as much like once I get into high school and past then. And after I graduated high school, I was on the road with a traveling music ministry team called Captive Free, and we had like training. We had a couple weeks of training that we did. And while we were training, we were at this summer camp, and we were staying in these like cabins at this summer camp. So in this cabin, there was like 4 bunk beds, and there was a bunch of people in there.
Yeah.
So we were all in there. It was the first night of camp that we were doing this. And I went to bed, and I woke up. I was not dreaming at all. I fully woke up, and I saw the dark figure at the end of my bed. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I was like, I'm just seeing something. Someone's hanging clothes from the end of the bed. Like something's going on.
That's fair.
But then he starts coming around the bed and starts coming towards me, and I lose it. I start screaming, crying, like freaking out in a room with 7 other strangers. And I'm just like screaming,
they're like, okay,
freaking
you freak.
out. Well, yeah, they're like, what is going on? What's happening? Everyone wakes up. They're like, what? And I'm like, nothing. And then I just go right back to sleep. And I'm like,
you gaslit all of them.
you guys are crazy. And I just went back to sleep.
You guys had the same nightmare, I guess. You
yeah.
weirdos.
So I just like, I was like so shaken up, and I just like went back to sleep. I was like, I cannot believe this is happening again. I'm so annoyed by this. So I like go back to sleep. And then that morning at breakfast, like we all wake up and we're like, no one really says anything because they just met me, and they're like, okay,
like,
weirdo.
Yeah,
Why'd you start screaming?
You're crazy. Yeah.
So we all go to breakfast. I can't remember who I was talking to about it, but I was just like, yeah, it was crazy. Like I saw this like figure from my childhood, and I think it was my friend Becca. Becca like overheard it, and she's like, wait, what? Like, tell me exactly what you saw. And I like explained it as this dark figure. He's been following me all my life, and it's been scaring me like my whole life. And she was like, okay, we need to talk about this because the same thing happened in the girls' cabin last night too. Somebody was sleeping and they woke up and there's a shadowy figure at the end of their bed, and it started coming towards them, and they freaked out, started screaming.
Whoa, that's
and
weird.
Woke everybody up.
That's gross.
So the thing that was gross about it is this happened the year prior to, like people were being like haunted by these like demons. I say they're demons. So they were like really taking this seriously because spiritual warfare is basically when like angels and demons are like fighting for us. So there's this woman at the camp who was like very like into spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
And was like a really awesome asset, and basically like came with me back to our cabin and like prayed over the room and prayed over me, and like kind of like was like, hey, you know, this is a man of God, like he's going to protect you, like nothing else can happen to you anymore, like you are on the right side, you're on the right track, everyone's going to be like for you, and like nobody can hurt you, like this is a safe space. And just basically like prayed over me for like 20-30 minutes, and it was great, and I felt really, really good about it. And like that night I didn't really have a nightmare about it, and then it just kind of like ever since then I've never had the nightmare again, and nothing like that has really ever happened to me. I still have like nightmares here and there, but
yeah, of course.
Now I'll just like wake up and I'll be like, whoo, spooky, and I go right back to sleep, and like everything is fine. But like really since then everything has just been like completely 180. Like I've never had that nightmare again. Nothing like that has happened. So I think there was like a demon that was like fucking with me my whole life, and then it came to a head where luckily enough I had a fucking prayer warrior there who was able to really like give me that sense of closure and really that protection that I needed, and I just have not dealt with it ever since.
Have you like heard of like the shadow people that like people see all the time, or
yeah.
no?
Yeah,
because that
I mean,
sounds like
vaguely.
that too.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, because
be a
like
shadow person.
Well, and that or a demon. That day, like my friend Becca, who is Hispanic, she was like, "You should draw what it looks like." So I drew like the shadowy figure, and she's like, "Okay, we're going to go burn the drawing, and that's going to get rid of it. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, it was funny because like we burned the drawing, and then
She's
we
like,
said
we have to
another prayer.
sacrifice a chicken and burn the drawing.
Yeah,
and
she
its
brought
ashes.
a chicken and like a goat. And she's like, all right, here we are.
Yeah, dude.
Not a turkey.
It's a
no,
turkey.
she didn't do that. We burned the picture, and then we said another prayer, and what's done
That
is
sounds
done.
like voodoo to me.
I mean, I would agree. But yeah, like it just hasn't been a thing in my life ever since, and thank God. And now, before I go to bed tonight, I'm gonna say another prayer and make sure that doesn't happen again. But
Say a little prayer for you.
yeah, dude, it's just like really scary, and I'm really happy that isn't part of my
I'm
life
glad you're
anymore.
here with us today.
Oh God,
You
it's
know?
so scary.
Damon. Matt Damon, dude, was haunting you. It was crazy.
I was gonna try to do an impersonation of Matt Damon, but I
Damon.
don't have one.
No.
That's Jason Bourne.
Oh my God.
That's not the line, but I'm happy you didn't say the right
Anyways, I would say
line. Yeah.
watching The Sixth Sense in conclusion
Back to the Sixth Sense.
is
I wish I would have watched it without knowing the.
you need to, but if
the
you even
twist.
if you know the twist and you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a watch.
It's very well done.
It's good. It's a really
Very
good movie.
well done.
Yeah.
Beautifully shot. Again, the red details are really cool. Just a very interesting movie, and it does kind of get your heart racing. It shows how cruel kids are, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, again, Toni Collette. Toni Collette.
She overacts.
No, she literally doesn't.
She gets too crazy sometimes for me.
I mean, her kids being haunted by dead people.
Her kid
and
always
picked
has a
on by-
problem, and like in movies, I feel like it's just like, come on, dude. I don't know.
Well, and that's the cool thing because in About a Boy, her kid doesn't have a problem. She has a problem.
Of course.
Watch the movie.
It's got to be about Tony
Her.
Collette.
It's
somehow.
all about Tone T.
It's all about Tony Soprano. Of course it is.
Really, though.
But yeah, I would say it's worth a watch. I'm gonna hit you with a never-ending story quote today.
That makes me happy.
The never-ending story.
Ooh,
Such a
that
good
was
movie.
just off.
It was such a good
So it
movie,
hurt my
though.
ears.
When was the last time you saw that movie? You think
I don't know, but should we watch that for next week?
that would be good? No, don't commit to that. I don't know.
I know.
That's like a 3-hour movie. I feel like.
A lot of
It
the
might be.
A lot
It
of the
was
movies we
long.
picked are long ass movies.
Yeah, but the quote goes like this: maybe all the people that say ghosts don't exist are just afraid to admit that they do. Like
that
Ben.
quote-
Like Ben.
I admitted there's angels and demons, not ghosts. That quote is from the writer of the book, The Neverending Story.
True,
What is
true,
that
true.
person's name?
I don't know.
Maybe I can read it and say it.
His
You
name-
didn't write down the name? I need
No,
that.
I didn't write it down because it was like everyone knows that. You all know that never-ending story.
Michael End. Or Endy.
Yeah, are you happy you found that out? His
I
name?
am.
I'm just kidding.
I have to put it in the video description.
Oh my god. All right. Anyways, if you want to share ghost stories, or
Ooh, tell us your ghost stories.
we could look into those and possibly make another ghost episode at some point too.
Talk about
talk
that.
about more stuff.
Yeah. And again, if there's ever like movies that you want us to talk about, situations you want us to talk about, like anything, like let us know. Shoot us a message. We got Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anything you need. We're on all of those. Just let us know. We also have an email address. Don't send me an email.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't check it. It was just so we could have a YouTube channel.
Fair.
So just shoot us a message on Instagram. We're on Instagram all the time, unfortunately. But I got it on my phone. But yeah, interesting talk through. Great
Yeah.
movie. M. Night Shyamalan. Not.
Might not be the last movie we talk about with his. Who knows?
No,
He does good
I would
movies,
assume not.
yeah.
I've never seen Signs either.
That movie is interesting.
I've never seen. Is that M. Night Shyamalan? Signs.
I think so. Yeah.
Because then there's also The Village. I've never.
That's
seen
a
that
pretty
movie
good movie
either.
too.
That's
Joaquin
M. Night
Phoenix
Shyamalan.
is in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix is also in Signs.
Yeah, he is. I just didn't even think about that.
You know what else he's in?
Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Yeah.
Now that's a 4-hour movie.
That's
we
a good
do
movie.
have time
That's
for.
a double VHS tape right there.
Ah.
Like Titanic.
Did you ever watch like double VHS movies and would only watch one specific VHS because you only wanted to watch that part of the movie?
Yeah, of
'Cause I
course.
used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
I would do that with Lord of the Rings. I would only ever watch the second VHS.
Lazy.
It literally starts with Legolas walking downstairs, and I'm like, "There's my boy."
How is he walking downstairs if he is legless? right. Anybody? Yeah, let's just wrap this up, huh? Everybody,
I don't want to
have a wonderful night. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Or day or morning, because we don't listen to this while we're recording it. Sometimes people listen to it in the morning at 6 a.m. when I
True.
post it.
True. All right. Well, have a
Choo,
good
choo,
day
choo,
and night,
choo,
guys.
choo.
Really take good care, okay?
Take care.
Take care of
Don't
yourselves.
say a little prayer before you go to sleep tonight, so my demon doesn't come on
Don't
you.
force your religion upon us.
You are Christian now.
Meditate upon a dewdrop, over that.
What is that
Or
from?
squeeze some beads.
Squeeze some beads. Sometimes I wish I was Catholic because I really like. Okay. All right, that's it. That's The Sixth Sense. Episode 6, The Sixth Sense. Maybe we did that on purpose.
Down on the notch right there. Right down there.
Notch in the bedpost.
Yeah.
You're just a line in a song.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Take good care.
We'll just leave it at that. Bye-bye.